Okay. Right, good afternoon, guys. Thank you so much for being patient with us today. We've had a tough day, and we'll try our best to hit the 12:15 p.m. mark daily. So do tune in daily, and we're extremely sorry. Both Sajeet sir and myself were delayed. No fault of Anushi Vakharia, who is joining us today. So, so we'll let her go. But let me first start off. Global markets were in fact throwing positive cues today morning. And that has led to some bit of positivity in our markets as well. IT is up 2% on the back of that. If you have a different view, please come in. But my sense is IT is up because global markets, global cues were positive to IT. And therefore, you're seeing some bit of zing on the stocks today.
There is some rub-off which is happening because of Trump and I think SoftBank and others.
Exactly.
The deal which has been signed, right, for
Correct.
the new thing, which basically thinks... I think the street thinks that there would be a lot of AI-led work which is going to come in.
Right.
For the last 3 to 4 quarters, we've been seeing a lot of small amount of work which is there in all orders of IT companies. Now with this impetus on AI, it could be a game changer where Indian IT companies have a lot of resources in AI. So that's one of the things. Plus there are two commentaries which came in, Coforge and Persistent yesterday. Numbers were okay, in line, but the commentaries were very
positive. And look at the stocks.
Look at the stocks. Both the stocks on commentary has...
It's absolutely outstanding reaction on the
It's
counter.
all about how you're going to, put the commentary out and what is the kind of outlook you're showing to the investors. You get hammered if you're not able to show that there is a growth coming in.
Yes. So that's the other reason why IT is up.
IT is up. There's good pipeline for Coforge. Persistent numbers have been good, and commentary has been good, and that's one of the reasons why IT is up today. Otherwise, yes, for last couple of days we've seen IT getting hammered in some fashion. But we have Anushi today. Real estate is something which I think a lot of people have been asking for the last couple of days. So we thought let's get the in-house expert on real estate.
Yes.
So Anushi, 2 results आए हैं अभी तक.
Right.
पहला ट्रेंड क्या बताता है रियल एस्टेट के बारे में?
So पहला ट्रेंड of course इसमें रियल एस्टेट में it is very important that for viewers context that we do not look at the P&L statement because वो लोग percentage completion और project completion method follow करते हैं. So whatever P&L numbers that we look at are very skewed. 2 साल 3 साल पहले का सबका recognition रहता है. So your key operational metrics is something that we'll be looking at. So the most important one being booking value. Like whatever projects जो launch हो रहे हैं उनको response कैसे मिल रहा है. उसमें if you are looking at a higher number of growth, that shows that the kind of demand is still there in the real estate sector. So 2 results that we have seen, one is Oberoi, one is Sunteck. Sunteck, we've seen a decent response to the kind of results that they've posted. New launches में there were not a major launches. जो पुराने उनके projects थे उसी पे there's a high sustenance, so good response on that. So we are looking at Oberoi Realty was in pressure, and this is because of one of the key projects which is in Worli called 360 West. So it has already been launched, but the kind of momentum or kind of bookings that were expected in this quarter, it didn't turn out. So despite the 144% of a growth number that we are seeing, जो एनालिस्ट का जो स्ट्रीट का एक्सपेक्टेशंस दैट वाज स्टिल लोअर देन दैट.
तो बेसिकली आप कह रहे हो कि 360 वेस्ट जो इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग इट्स वेरी क्लोज टू द मोतीलाल ओसवाल हेडक्वार्टर्स के पास में वर्ली में.
आई एम नॉट श्योर इफ
जो बट इट इज सुपर प्रीमियम एंड हाई लग्जरी प्रोडक्ट. तो अगर ओबरॉय व्हिच इज नोन फॉर दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग एंड वहां पर उनका जो टेक ऑफ नहीं हो रहा है, ये डिमांड नहीं आ रहा है, टेक ऑफ हो गया मतलब डिमांड उतना नहीं आ रहा है. So that means there's a slowdown which is coming in the upper end. जो हम पिछले 3 क्वार्टर में बात कर रहे थे.
I wouldn't agree to that. So what has happened is कि उनका response for that project has been very strong. But ये क्वार्टर में उन्होंने क्या किया? That they have taken price increases now. तो उन्होंने price hikes किए और उन्होंने बोला है that whenever we do this, it's a very common phenomenon कि पहले जो भी हमारे होगे जो डिमांड रहेगा for that quarter or something we can look at a variation, but फिर then again next quarter onwards we'll see it coming back. But it's the थाने प्रोजेक्ट जो 144% नंबर हम देख रहे हैं. थाने प्रोजेक्ट दे हैव लॉन्च्ड पोखरान रोड पे. it's got a tremendous response, and because of which we are looking at such high numbers. But because analysts were expecting more from this side, we are seeing that. But उन्होंने फिर भी they're very confident कि pricing growth, despite of whatever the markets are saying, that now the growth would not be as much as seen after COVID highs. We are still very confident that we'll take price hikes and we'll continue to see that kind of demand.
पर आपको लगता है कि जो ओबरॉय बोल रहा है कि मैं अपने प्रीमियम प्रोजेक्ट में जो प्राइस हाइक कर रहा हूँ उसकी वजह से ब्लिप हुआ है
For this
टेम्पररी
quarter.
स्लो डाउन हुआ है, लेट्स नॉट से ब्लिप आल्सो, टेम्पररी स्लो डाउन हुआ है क्योंकि नाउ द बायर इज गोइंग बैक वन स्टेप एंड सेइंग कि अच्छा आपने
Let me assess this,
20% आपने हाइक ले लिया, सपोज 20% आपने हाइक लिया, लेट मी सी कि आप 20% हाइक के बाद और कौन से प्रीमियम प्रोजेक्ट इस विसिनिटी में जो मैं ले सकता हूँ आपके हिसाब से, तो क्या वो रीथिंक हो रहा है अभी बायर
I think so, but it for me, I wouldn't read too much into it.
बिकॉज़ ये
वो
प्रोजेक्ट
logic
सारे
है.
4 साल के बाद आने वाले हैं,
हाँ, right.
Yeah.
ये सारे प्रोजेक्ट 4 साल के बाद
Yeah.
आने वाले हैं. और रियल एस्टेट में जो आपने बोला कि प्री सेल्स बुकिंग्स जिसका हो रहा है, I know the street is very bullish on those kind of things, but I'm a very contrarian there.
Yeah.
Because I believe that, you know, if you are doing a booking, if not now, maybe 3 years down the line, it should get converted into revenues.
Of course.
If you don't get it converted, if you don't get converted into revenues and it stays on your books as inventories, then you know there's an issue which comes into the real estate sector. And अगर आपने last 20 साल का real estate देखा है, ये हर साइकिल में
Yes, होता ही है.
But it is an up cycle. मतलब there is stages
अभी
in
भी है, but
हाँ.
that's really the question I think.
Yeah,
is trying
but
to ask.
inventories have been at their lowest. So despite of Knight Frank देख लो, Anerock देख लो, they are all pointing out कि we are still confident on the real estate as an index because of अभी one upcycle trend चल रहा है. We are continuing to see demand supply का equation होता है. When there is more supply and उसके सामने demand कम नहीं होता है, then they have to decrease their prices and take.
Most of the real estate companies जो हैं, you know, they are Bombay based, right? Except for a DLF or
No, a lot of them are Delhi,
गुड़गांव में
DLF है Delhi में,
Signature
Macrotech
है,
Mumbai, now they are going in.
हाँ, पर वो एक अलग ही कॉन्सेप्ट है एक्चुअली, राइट? मींस इन द सेंस आपका मैक्रोटेक हो गया जो कि लोडा है, देन ये आपका ओबरॉय हो गया, देन आपका आकृति हुआ करता है, देन ये अजमेरा है आपका, यू नो
Keystone
है, सनटेक है, ये सारे के सारे जो है मोस्टली एमएमआर मुंबई मेट्रोपॉलिटन रीजन में है. और इस एरिया में हमने देखा है कि जो सबर्बन एरियाज हैं,
हाँ.
वहाँ पर इतने सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स आ रहे हैं,
Right.
रीडेवलपमेंट के साथ भी आ रहे हैं. कीस्टोन ले लो, लोधा का अपनी जमीन है, पर कीस्टोन एंड अदर्स ओबरॉय वगैरह रीडेवलपमेंट के थ्रू बहुत आ रहे हैं वहाँ पर. तो आपको लगता है कि ये जो सप्लाई आने वाला है 4 साल में, वो एक इन्वेंट्री इशू क्रिएट करेगा? अभी तो ठीक है, मेरे लिए बुक में तो मैंने दिख लिया कि भाई हाई आई एम गेटिंग अ हाई प्री सेल्स नंबर, बट वो प्री सेल नंबर तो हम बेसिक बुकिंग नंबर
30 seconds. Anushi, I'm going to give you 30 seconds because we need to wrap. So, do you believe that 4 years from now we will peak out?
I'm not confident about the 4-year cycle because ये up cycle कब turn
But you are
होके-
seeing currently,
But
next
currently
1 year
it seems positive.
तेजी
Yeah,
है.
yeah. Current
Next
कन्वर्जन
एक
हो
साल
रहे हैं.
conversions हो रहे. For in my understanding, I feel that it is still a positive.
ठीक है. I'm going to switch focus because we have Aki Epps, who's a regular viewer. He's asking us on Jubilant Pharma and Dr. Reddy. What are our views? Dr. Reddy will come out with numbers
Dr.
today.
Reddy's numbers are going to come in the evening.
Yes.
And I think US will be a big factor for the Dr. Reddy's because last quarter also they did fairly well in US, but pricing pressure was coming down for many of their old products and new products they've been able to
Yes.
put out. So that's a positive which I think everyone is looking forward for Dr. Reddy.
And that will spill over on Jubilant because Jubilant is largely export facing.
Export facing.
And therefore, Jubilant should also benefit from that tailwind.
So yeah, so let's look at 2 things which are going to come in. One is how the US numbers are going to do, and then if there is any policy which is going to come in from the US, especially for drugs and drug manufacturing and others. वो दोनों के basis पे we can take a call now that you have a new Trump administration in place and वहाँ पर you know there is a change in US FDA which is going to happen.
Yes.
There's going to be other things which
Yes.
is happening. The new secretary which is going to come in. All those things will have an influence on the policy and how generics will participate or perform in the US market.
But DRL, sir, just quick question. DRL certainly more balanced than a Jubilant because a larger track record, a more solid company at 20 times earnings multiple, and you have a good balance between export and India.
Yes. DRL में वो
So
है.
if you were to pick between the two, would you pick DRL over Jubilant or would
DRL
you?
is better placed because you have a good US
Yeah.
foothold as well as you have a good domestic business
Yeah.
for DRL, and that's one of the reasons why DRL will stand higher than Jubilant. But बाकी जो है वो it's still a wait and watch for the entire pharma space. Pharma के सारे numbers भी नहीं आए उतने.
Correct. Yeah. So no visibility there. But CDMO also will play a very big part, and there Jubilant has a larger presence,
Yes.
and therefore, if CDMO turns around, if I recall, 20% of revenue for Jubilant, and if therefore CDMO turns around, you'll have a good positive.
Yeah,
where
and
that is
everyone is
concerned.
betting on that actually.
Yes.
CDMO turning around, and there are a couple of companies which are doing CDMO businesses. और वहाँ पर काफ़ी opportunities आ रही हैं.
Divi's has done so well last 12 months. I mean, it's very strong, and of course, Jubilant trades also at 50 times versus DRL's 20 times, and therefore that margin of comfort is lesser. Okay, now the next question: HUL, flattish volume. FMCG का क्या लग रहा है? And sir, I just want to
we'll wrap it up
we
because
have exactly
we have
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Apologies,
So-
today is a stretched day, so we'll try and
earning
wrap.
season है तो थोड़ा stretch रहता है, but let me put it in this way. One should go through the earnings conference transcript of
Yes.
HUL.
Yes.
रोहित जावा का उसमें बहुत अच्छा कमेंट्री है उसमें. वो very clearly he is able to articulate it very clear कि discretionary spends गिर रहे हैं, जिसकी वजह से टाइट्रेशन ऑफ डिमांड हो रहा है. विच भी टाइट्रेशन डिमांड मतलब कि लोग छोटे छोटे में पैकेट में खरीद रहे हैं. तो अगर आप प्रीमियम प्रोडक्ट खरीदते थे पहले, अब आप प्रीमियम खरीद रहे हैं, अब छोटे पैक में खरीद रहे हैं, जिसकी वजह से वॉल्यूम हिट हुआ है उसका. सेकेंड जो चीज़ है, अर्बन डिमांड मॉडरेट हो रहा है, अभी भी फ्लैटन आउट नहीं हुआ है, तो ये अगले कुछ क्वार्टर जाएगा. रूरल डिमांड होल्ड कर रहा है. थर्ड जो चीज़ है, प्राइसिंग जो है वो इंक्रीज हो रही है. रीजन बीइंग आपके रॉ मटेरियल प्राइसेस इन्फ्लेशन हो रहा है, और फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम दे हैव कंफर्म दैट कि उनका जो इंटरनल मटेरियल इन्फ्लेशन है, दैट इज आफ्टर रिमूविंग ऑल द एफिशिएंसीज सिनर्जीज एंड एवरीथिंग, उसके बाद भी उनको इन्फ्लेशन लेना पड़ा अपने बैलेंस P&L में, जिसकी वजह से उनका मार्जिन में थोड़ा सा इम्पैक्ट आ रहा है, और ये इम्पैक्ट रहेगा आगे जाके. तो डिस्क्रिशनरी स्पेंड, छोटे पैकेट की तरफ जाना, और ये सब चीज़ें रहेंगी. और बेस्ट थिंग जो उसने बोला है कि आपके होम केयर में ये देखने को नहीं मिल रहा है, पर पर्सनल केयर में देखने को मिल रहा है. विच बेसिकली कि आपके बाकी जो कंपनीज है जो होम केयर बनाती हैं, गोदरेज हो गया या बाकी हो गए जो होम सोप्स एंड मींस बाकी
Home care meaning that you have good night and stuff like that.
But
वो वहाँ पर डिमांड नहीं गिर रहा है, पर्सनल केयर में गिर रहा है.
So your shampoos etc. is seeing more pressure.
But what is interesting is पहले रूरल का सब ऐसे बोल रहे थे, रूरल पिकअप कब होगा, अभी अर्बन पिकअप कब होगा.
नहीं, पिकअप नहीं है. This is a flattening.
Yeah, sorry.
On a high base. On a high base.
गिर रहा है.
It's very different.
तो डिमांड when you
इसका I was writing about it as well. Just अगर अर्बन मार्केट्स में पैकेज छोटे होते जा रहे हैं और लोग छोटे छोटे पैकेज के लिए जा रहे हैं, then quick commerce will be hit.
Yes.
Because quick commerce छोटे छोटे पैकेज नहीं बेचता है, वो बड़े बड़े पैकेज बेचता है, क्योंकि उनको ग्रॉस ऑर्डर वैल्यू ज़्यादा चाहिए, एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू ज़्यादा चाहिए. तो वो इम्पैक्ट क्विक कॉमर्स में भी आएगा अगर ये मॉडरेशन चलता रहा.
That's a very interesting point actually, guys. This is not an angle that I thought of.
Yeah,
but that's a very interesting angle. Okay. Out of time on this one today. Hopefully we gave you all enough insights. We'll obviously meet you all tomorrow 12:15 without fail this time.
Yeah.
We will be here. But thank you so much guys for joining us, and thanks for the team for pushing us to do this. So big shout out to the entire team. I was not supposed to come in today, but big shout out to you guys for ensuring that we do this.
We will be there by 12:15 every day.
But we will be there by 12:15 every day. Mridul, thanks.
Would like to
guys.
join again. This was fun.
We will do a real estate discussion. It's
Yeah.
going to be an interesting one. So we will do that.